for tuning in to my energy reading for the new moon in Pisces, which is coming up on the 17th of March, and it's almost 27 degrees of Pisces. Now this is a really interesting placement for this new moon, because although it's a new moon and new moons are always about new beginnings, it is in the very last decatant of Pisces, so it's kind of like doubling up on that energy of Pisces, because Pisces itself is the last sign from all the three water signs, so it's intensified a lot more. If we think about Pisces, now on the positive side of Pisces, with Pisces, it gives the sort of sense of energy that, you know, you want to merge. You want to merge with something. And usually what we're crying out for merging into is source energy, divine energy, because divine energy is unconditional love. And that's what a lot of us want in our lives. And so when Pisces energy triggers us, that's what we're searching for. The only thing is, though, sometimes, you know, because of lack of understanding, our blocks, we don't understand it in that way, and that merging may actually become a merging into something that becomes attachment to something that's not healthy for us. And so if we look at Pisces, some of the negative traits of that merging and attachment could be something like addictions, for example, or people, or you know, like having that feeling of being imprisoned, because Pisces is actually ruler of the 12th house, and 12th house is very much about isolation, solitude, imprisonment. But you know, the reason it is about isolation, solitude and imprisonment is because that is the part of us that wants to be on our own, to find that oneness, to find that sense of oneness that, you know, we are so hoping for and searching for. But in order to find oneness, we have to deal with those parts of us that have been wounded. And now the last few years have been very, very significant with Pisces, because we have also had Chiron transiting Pisces. And Chiron is the wounded healer. That's the part in our chart that we are born with, that creates the wound that you know, is kind of like there as a constant reminder, and we have to deal with it. So then Pisces has, with Chiron that has been going through Pisces, it has been either creating wounds, new wounds, or touching on old wounds and reminding us of those old wounds. Now, the reason it's called the wounded healer is because although those wounds have been created, there is also a way, an insight for us to be able to heal ourselves. So, you know, there is kind of like that saying where, you know, where the wound is also where the medicine is, hence the wounded healer. So, you know, you can find the cure, find the medicine for the healing that needs to occur. Now, with this particular degree of Pisces being at 26, well, nearly 27, and as I said, it's right at the end of Pisces, so it's in the last part of Pisces. It's almost like the end of maybe a chapter, maybe something that has been going on, something that perhaps you've been struggling with for some time, and now you can kind of see that the end is in sight, and perhaps, you know, you're relieved about the end being in sight. Perhaps you can see the light about the end being in sight, and you know, so it is a very much a time of transition, because then we head off after Pisces into a lot of Aries and new beginnings. So we're right at that transformation stage at the moment. And so this week and the weekend is very, very significant. You may feel leading up to the new moon, which is on the 17th of March, leading up to it, you may find things are coming up for release. Even for a few days afterwards, you may still be releasing, because things will be coming up related to this ending, to whatever has been going on and that you're letting go of, and or just being able to move forward where things may have felt that they were quite stagnant and were just not shifting, were just not moving. And now you may see, begin to see that there is progression, that there is movement, and you can, move ahead. Now, I want to kind of share with you also some techniques in relation to Pisces energy that could be very helpful, because it's, the merging, the oneness, the feeling like being at one with divine energy, feeling at being with, one with the source. Now, this is a powerful time. If you and you can really make it work for you in terms of getting in touch with your infinite power. Whatever that infinite power means for you, this is a wonderful time to be able to get in touch with it. Now, the way to get in touch with this infinite power is about going into beyond the physical and going into your subconscious. And in order to get into your subconscious, you're going to have to perhaps go into, altered states of awareness, and you can do that in lots and lots of ways. The things that create a trance in whatever way you feel is appropriate for you, that trance can be created. It can be as simple as Pisces energy can be sort of like, where you lose yourself in like dance. I love to dance sometimes when I just want to spend some time with myself and I feel I want to connect with source energy, divine energy. I just lose myself in dance. I will play whatever music that I feel kind of like really drawn to, and then I will just let that music move me in the way that I need to, and I just lose myself into that. It could also be going into sort of like by the oceans, because Pisces is a water sign and oceans are very significant. Ocean water energy, very, very powerful to create that depth of trance. Even going swimming, so doing water sports and swimming can take you into that trance, merging into that other side, because and maybe even some shamanic journeying, where you're going into other dimensions and traveling to other worlds, journeying, traveling to other worlds and dimensions, because it is Pisces energy. It is all about going beyond the physical. But if you want to connect on the physical, sometimes on the physical, it is just can be sometimes, about glamour, for example, and also losing yourself in maybe, you see, Pisces is very much also linked to things like film and theatre, museums, painting. Painting is another really good one. Drawing, sometimes people just like do lots of doodling, drawing sketches or painting, creative things like that. Knitting maybe. So anything that takes you off into a trance, and so that you go off into this altered state of awareness, and while you're in that altered state of awareness, it helps you to travel through the subconscious and maybe even beyond, where you can really find the benefits of this Pisces energy. What I'll be doing at the weekend is I'm actually going to be working with a group of hypnotherapists, talking about, you know, trance and subconscious and the altered states. I'm going to be working with a group of hypnotherapists, and I'm taking them on a trance journey, but a waking trance. So they're not going to kind of like close their eyes and you know, like go off into trance. They will be in a trance, but in a waking trance, and we're going to work with the fire energy. So this is going into other dimensions, working with other worlds, and you know, having shamanic experiences, because you know, if you look at many cultures, they see fire ceremonies as a ritual of working with the divine, because you know, some cultures have fire gods. Hindu culture has the fire god Agni, and then you've got the Roman fire god, which is Vulcan. You've got the Greek fire god. I don't really know how to pronounce the name, but I know it starts with H. Something like hemistasis, something. It's quite a long name, but so anyway, like, you know, many cultures have fire gods and even fire goddesses, you know, because when I went to Hawaii, I did quite a lot of work with the fire goddess Pele, and so, you know, you have the fire gods, you have the fire goddesses. So this is all Pisces energy merging with, you know, going into that sense of that divine feeling of oneness, merging into that oneness through these, you know, interventions, through these mediums, and then kind of helping you to connect into, you know, the other world. This is these other worlds. It is your inner universe, the internal Akash, you know, hence my website naming Transpersonal Akash, which is about you going into your internal world, your internal universe. And that's what this new moon energy is all about. It's a very powerful time if you can make it work for you. And you know, so obviously it is good for you to kind of try and work out and find out what sign Pisces is on your birth chart, what house it's on, and what degree the aspect, you know, the 26, 53, 20 sort of 7 degrees in Pisces. Is there anything else in your chart that is 27 degrees, 26 degrees, and what aspect is it making to these other things in your chart? You know, just to give you a you know, an idea about my own chart. It's a very powerful new moon for me, because I have got a direct opposition on this new moon from Pisces into Virgo, and it is going to be opposing my Mercury in Virgo in the 10th house. So very significant, and I know what that's about, and I'm already working on that. And yeah, so hopefully make it work for you, and you know, share with me anything you want to, that anything that came up for you as a result of anything, you know, like I've shared some good positive sort of moving forward energies for you, and whatever has helped you. And if you're interested in any Skype sessions to do with chart readings, or if you're interested in knowing more about my ritual and ceremonial work, you know, not just the fire ceremony, I do water ceremonies as well, all the elements, I work with all the elements, and I do a lot of elemental rituals and ceremonies. So feel free to contact, and you can subscribe to our channel, and I'll be back very soon with another energy reading. Enjoy your new moon. Thank you.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see.